Hello and a big welcome to Xbox On. My name is Sam and I've spent the last few days in West Virginia getting my hands on some ridiculously exclusive and exciting gameplay of Fallout 76. This is the first time anyone outside of Bethesda has played the title and let them take capture outside of their super secret vault. Now, Fallout 76 has been one of the most widely anticipated titles of the year, and in my eyes it's an absolute ton of stuff to be super excited for. So, without further ado, I'm going to take you through 7 things you're going to love about Fallout 76. Brace yourselves, we're heading out of the vault.
Those chosen to enter this vault must be our best and our brightest.
Camps bear similarities and differences to the ones found in Fallout 4, otherwise known as settlements. Each character can create, build and hone their camp as they rise through the levels in the game. As I started out as a lonely and raw level 1, 2, 3, 5, my camp was looking pretty bare, and as you might imagine for someone who's just started the game. But along my travels I ran into some much higher level camps that had been built by Bethesda Game Studio employees, who were anywhere from, level 50 up. These camps were absolutely stacked and we had a lot of fun borrowing some of their sweet equipment. Cheers guys! Building a camp is great for extra equipment and the utility that it provides, such as workbenches, mineral catchers, and your stash box, which is sort of the vault for all the equipment that you're picking up across the world. Camps also increase in size as you level up, but as you begin placing them, you sort of get a gist of how much space you need between your camp, another player's, and also the terrain to build on. One thing that Bethesda did say is that they're working on the size of the camps all the time, and what we see here may or may not be the same as what it is in the final game. What's really fantastic is if you're travelling to another part of the world and decide that the grass is less radioactive on this patch, you can simply open up the camp tool, switch your plan, so it's now in this area. As soon as I get to play the game again, I'm going to build a giant camp and keep Benny totally away from it. Stay away. Really mean that. Perks are back in Fallout 76, but in a brand new and interesting manner. Perks still exist in a way that you might be familiar with from Fallout 4. We've got strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and finally the one that Leah seems to have maxed out on when we play Halo against each other, which is luck. All 7 are with us in Fallout 76 and allow you with each level upgrade to add a point into that specific perk school. This is obviously a great feature as it allows any player to sculpt and morph their character into the sort of character that you want in the world. The real twist now comes with the brand new addition of perk cards. Perk cards are a set of cards that allow you to personalise your character and grant extra skills and abilities to help you on your way. Once you level up, you'll be asked to pick a perk you want to add an extra point in. After that, you'll open up a perk card pack. That contains around 3 cards that have different features to pick from. Some potentially even too high a level, which you can still pick, but then you'll be able to use them later on when you are the correct level. Here I've added an extra point in agility. All great additions, but I definitely want my AP regenerating faster while I'm on the move. I've got places to be, damn it. Now these cards can be placed into each perk slot, depending on how many points are in there. So here in agility, I've got the ability to have 2 cards equipped at one time. So let's max that one out with this one, the Action Boy card. Lovely stuff. Cards can be leveled, and that's indicated by how many stars are on the card. You can see here how Agility Boy increases its value as it gets up to 3 stars. What that means is, if you're lucky enough to open another pack that includes the same card, you can actually merge the cards and level them up. They still require the same amount of card slots, so 2 cards merged will, and you guessed it, still take up 2 card slots. I also forgot to mention that some cards might be gold perk cards that are functionally the same as the others, but they animate and look amazing. You'll really get it as soon as you see one and just understand that you have to have that for every single perk card you've got.
If our founding fathers could only see us now.
Quests are one of the standout features of Fallout 76. They're of course essential to your progress, but what we saw in the build that was played is something that I think Bethesda should have been hyping up a little bit more in the lead up to the title's release. Quests come in all shapes and sizes and can be completed solo, with a friend, or even in a larger group. Given that there are no NPCs in the world for you to get quests from, the game uses inventive and quirky ways for you to get your orders. It's exactly how I like it. Here we were, starting the process of becoming a first responder, and we need to do our training, all from an abandoned terminal inside a town church, which is where I like to take all of my instructions these days. Yes, we're probably a good 10, 12, maybe 1200 years late to the party, but that doesn't stop me and my team from getting the job done. Much like you find in an MMORPG, quests can be picked up and shared amongst your team members. You'll know if you're completing a team leader's shared quest by looking out for the star in the top right-hand corner of your HUD. One thing to watch out for is if you're also completing the same quest as your team leader, then the star won't show up. Whilst we're not totally clear on where these quests might take us on our adventures throughout the wonderful world of Fallout 76, we do know that they're a lot of fun and earn us that delicious XP, which I'm going to save up so I can make myself some ridiculous power armor for Christmas. Ho ho ho. Let's start off by saying that the world in Fallout 76 is bigger than a school geography textbook. It's massive, an absolute awe of the unit. So massive in fact that it's 4 times as big as the Fallout 4 map. The world is bigger, but that doesn't mean it's any less detailed. The world feels luscious and immersive, while also appearing untouched. I'm not much of an explorer in games like this, but I couldn't help myself when it came to rifling through buildings and forests like a tier 1 scout boy. Hoping to get my badge for that mutation any day now. Looting in this destitute, yet very filled wasteland is something that you need to be mindful of in the new world that you're obviously sharing. Some loot works in an instanced manner, and the other is available to everyone at multiple levels of quantity. For example, if I go and pick some flowers whilst in a team, my team can also get those flowers, even if I've looted them. Now, on the flip side, if I walk up to a table that has a bunch of stuff on it, and I take, let's say, a set of wind chimes, no one else in my team, or anyone else in that world for that matter, can pick those up. They're mine and I intend to play them really badly and out of tune, together. When chatting with the team at Bethesda, they mentioned that making a world that's a lot bigger means that you might end up sort of spreading the content out across the map, but in fact they just sort of ended up creating 4 times the content. That means that there is always something going on and you always have plenty to do. The game's also heavily Xbox One X enhanced, which means it looks stunning. Mwah, bellissimo. Player versus player, who'd have thought it? In a Fallout game? Well, it's here and it's an absolute blast to get involved in. Let's start with how you get into PvP. You can only start fighting with other players when you reach level 5 in the game. It's pretty obvious when that happens. The big screen pops up and says, you can now kill people. Lovely stuff. By the time you hit level 5, you've got a good understanding of the game and it feels like the right time to be able to start engaging with others. This also means no one is getting farmed as soon as they leave the Vault 76 at the start of the game. Bethesda have done some great work on how PvP interaction works too. When starting an engagement with another player, you can shoot or hit your potential opponent. That hit does very little damage to them, but they definitely know you're there. If they then decide, I'm up for it, then they can do the same back to you. If that happens, then it's fair game and you're free to start butchering each other until your heart is content. All weapons level out in PvP too, as a level 52 Bethesda game shooter employee found out as I took him out of the game with a super basic hunting rifle. It really felt like an equal duel and actually a lot of fun. The rest of the devs were sort of very surprised as I was shouting, get out of my game, in a game that they built. Now, if your opponent decides to not attack you back, and they don't engage in this duel, which means if you continue to attack them all the way until they're not living, then you are a filthy murderer. What that does is it does turn you into a massive glowing red dot on the map for every single person in the game to see where you are. What more is that it places a bounty on your head so that if anyone in the game then kills you, they can get some delicious caps, and those caps come out of your pocket. As you can see, I did the hard work for you all by becoming a murderer for you all to see. And yes, I was chased down by a horde of angry folk in a local town. It's an exhilarating time in the game, and if you're down for a big murder streak, then I don't need to tell you what to do when you get your hands on the title. Now, if there's nothing you enjoy more than taking an enemy out with a weapon that you just found here and there across the world, then you're really going to enjoy taking an enemy out with a crafted weapon that you've made from your own blood, sweat and tears. It's a fully indescribable feeling. Crafting is hugely important in Fallout 76, and as I mentioned earlier, it really shines through in either your own camp or someone else's that you might be borrowing for a little bit. Crafting comes in all shapes and sizes, and there are a few types of benches that you can get your work done on. There are chemistry benches, weapon benches, ammo benches, and finally armor benches. On a chemistry bench, for example, you can create new stim packs or new Rad-X or other useful items. With the weapons bench, you can make anything from throwing knives to shotguns, and then head over to the ammo bench to get those weapons replenished. You can bring it all together and make some fetching armor like I've done here with this strapping leather number. The list of these items that can be crafted expand as you reach higher levels throughout the game. Not that surprising, but really something that keeps you coming back for more. Now for the biggest, baddest and more radioactive of them all, in Fallout 76 you can drop a nuke on your enemy and you don't need to get 25 kills without dying like another game I know. Nukes play a key part in the Fallout 76 narrative, but also the game. As has been teased throughout the animated shorts in the build-up to this gameplay reveal, you as a player are seeking out a set of nuclear launch codes that you can use to take out enemy camps players, or even just random bits of land if you feel like it. Whilst even playing the game, we didn't even get too much detail in exactly what happens after a nuke lands. We definitely saw one drop in front of our eyes. We're going to show that now. Look at that. Whoa, so nuclear, much destruction. So, that's 7 things that you're going to love about Fallout 76. Now, if you can't wait to get your hands on the title, the beta starts only on Xbox One on October 23rd. Now, this beta is the full version of the game, and all of your progress carries over to the full release of the title on November 14th. So, if you're as hyped for Fallout 76 as I am, make sure you leave a comment below on what you're most looking forward to. And make sure you stick around on the channel for more Fallout 76 content, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.